Hi, and welcome to Perusing Peru, with me, Ed Curlin.
And me, David Marwood. Now, I want you to think of your earliest childhood memory. What was it? Mine was about 20 years ago. This place, guess how old it is? Did you get it? It's 700 years old. That's 3 times as old as the average grandmother.
15,000 square kilometres and 5,000 inhabitants. What's more, one hell of a view.
Over 3,000 metres above sea level. You'd be surprised to think anyone could make it up to the Machu Picchu Inca ruins here in Peru, South America. Well, that's where you'd be wrong actually, Edward. About 700 years ago, the Incas built the city from scratch. Come on, let's take a look.
Oh, hi. Where did the Incas live, and how did they provide shelter for their young ones? Could rain here for up to 2 weeks solid, without a single break? How did they provide shelter for that?
Well, these houses were painstakingly built. They took about 3 months each, with 30 labourers working on them at all times. Primarily made from limestone, as we see here. The cement was primarily goose droppings, and yes, floors made of mud.
Come on, let's move on.
Oh, hi. Now, you might think your walk to work in London is a long walk and difficult. Whew. Think what the Incas felt like.
Well, what were the Inca professions? Much like a modern day Peru, many Incas were builders, general labourers, street vendors, even amateur prostitutes. Now let's go and take a look at some of the workplaces in the Inca village. "370 different rooms, 4 separate temples, and 1 bridge. It was a mighty job to keep the walls polished and the mould off the rocks. Yes, one can only imagine the cleaning bill in a place like this. Well, they had some things covered, the Incas, but when it came to ladders, the Incas believed they were best used horizontally, rendering them almost useless.
Now that's what I call lateral thinking.
Now, brothels were commonplace in Machu Picchu, with over 7 existing, but there were a number of cool girls waiting on street corners as well. They used to show their interest by using a red umbrella as their call sign. But with pleasure comes pain, and when the Spanish invaded in the early 1500s, they brought with them a number of sexually transmitted diseases such as chlamydia and the human papillomavirus HPV.
Ants were the staple diet of many Incas. They used to forage for them using sickles and machetes in the grass.
Now, I've eaten a lot of strange things in my time, but tell me, would you ever consider eating one of these guys?
One alpaca could feed up to 30 people, and much like a hog roast, they used to put a spear through the backside of the alpaca and coming out the gullet. So there you have it, the Inca Empire, one of the most powerful civilizations in South America, lasting for over 100 years.
They defended these Peruvian mountains and walls, but all that time using only slingshots and arrows. One thing they couldn't protect against, a wet bottom.
Come on, let's go and get a hot drink. Good night.
Good night.